bit close to the line a couple of times in the end, got dismissed, but I think his point scoring was fantastic. Niall McCarthy for Cork, won great possession and finished the goal fantastically as well. He was a threat toward the game. And Tom Kenny in midfield from Cork as well, coming through, picking off some lovely scores.
All right then, and the award goes to?
Well, we gave it to Niall McCarthy, Des. He was superb in the first half, really, and really the match was a contest in the first half, and he did very, very well, linked up very well with his defensive midfield, and took his goal superbly well, and ran away at times, and was very sensible, knocked over a few good points, and he carries in the form that he displayed in the Munster final, and in other matches, right, and the Limerick match right into this one, and that's why we gave him the man of the match. He was excellent on through the first half, particularly.
All right then. It was a good finish, wasn't it, Paul?
Oh yeah, he realised he was going to be hooked, and it's something now that players are practicing. I'd say there's like kicking, sometimes it can go sideways, and I think that it's a very good skill to have. Just throw it out ahead of you and flick it down, particularly if you put it down low where the goalkeepers can't have time to react. Yeah, absolutely.
All right then, well, let's hear from the man of the match, Carrigtwohill, Niall McCarthy.
And Ona Scully of Etihad Airways is presenting Niall with his award. Well done, Niall. You seem to be really enjoying your hurling at the moment.
Not too bad, I suppose last week was a huge disappointment to us, but we didn't have much time to think about it. To come back into training Wednesday, get our house in order again, and fellas were already down, but Dennis had a good chat with us Wednesday night, and we had no other chance to pick ourselves up. If we didn't, we were out playing Antrim today, we got beat, so I think it was kind of more mentally, more than physically, that the team were tired, but we're absolutely delighted to get over tonight and look forward to a semi-final in 2 weeks.
Yeah, indeed, that's the line-up for the semi-finals. Kilkenny against Cork and Waterford against Tipperary, and if it's anything like the recent meetings between those four counties, we should be in for a fair few fireworks. Yeah, let's ask you about your opposition, not your own semi-finals. Cork against Kilkenny. I mean, Kilkenny are going to be hot favourites, Paul, aren't they, still?
Well, red hot favourites, Des. I think, their march through Leinster was predictable enough. They played quite well, I think, against Galway without shooting, they had their shooting boots off that day. They missed, I think, it's 17 wides. Cork's, I suppose, the Munster final and the Munster final replay. Glad to get today over it. They have 2 weeks now, maybe, to get the injuries sorted. Shane O'Neill in particular, Sean Og, and I don't think Jerry O'Connor will make it. But going into against Kilkenny, I think they'll have to, we were talking about earlier, maybe put a couple of men back behind the ball, kind of do what Waterford are doing, maybe, close down the space that Kilkenny can operate in, and kind of, I know you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul at one end where the chances may be limited, but I think a low scoring game would be Cork's best bet. But I think to hold Kilkenny for 70 minutes would be a fair achievement, and I don't see it happening.
All right. And Donal, Waterford and Tip, I mean, Waterford had a fantastic victory over Cork, but that's a big win for Tip today.
Big win, Des, and coming in nicely now. They'll be on a big wave. They've done the jobs that they had to do, got through the qualifiers, right? Were woeful against Cork, and they've come back now with a big psychological win against Galway. And I don't think they'll be that unhappy that they're meeting Waterford, and I think Waterford will have it all to do again. They'll have to get back up. I think they'll be favourites because they're Munster champions, and when it comes down, Tip will have studied Waterford now. Waterford's tactics are out of the bag, so to speak. So they'll have enough time to prepare to see how they get through this Waterford defence, and I think it's going to be a 50-50 game that is, basically,
Yeah, but equally, will Waterford have learned a bit from Tip today?
The game today was so, up and down the field, right? There was very little tactics. It was just hit it up and, try and get it to the man, the man in the most advantageous position if you could. But they were so up and down the field, right? Okay, Tip will be trying to cut out the mistakes. There was very little that you could say we can exploit this or we can exploit that. So, it will be down to on the day. The bit of luck. I mean, Tip had a bit of lucky, a lucky break today for the goal, and a bit of luck will decide it maybe. But it's anybody's game, 50-50.
All right, so if I push you, who'll be in the final then, Paul?
Kilkenny will definitely be in it, Des. As I agree with Donal, I think the other semi-final is 50-50. It's a complete role reversal of the semi-final in 2008 when Waterford, we came through the qualifiers against Tip were red hot favourites, have the Munster champions, and I think the first quarter of an hour that day, Waterford got 5 or 6 points that really rattled Tipperary. Maybe they were looking towards the final, so you know the shoe could be underfoot this year. But I think Waterford are focused enough to realise that Tipperary will enjoy playing them. So obviously I'll go with Waterford, but it's going to be a very tough game.
All right, and Donal?
Both semi-finals, does it?
Yeah, well,
I think you'd have to fancy Kilkenny to come through. The Cork game. They've done it all, and I think they've skipped through Leinster really without any physical toll being taken on them. And I think in the other game, it comes down if Tip can hold John Milan up front, like from getting scores and play. I think that that they'll edge it. All
right then. Thanks a million for joining us, lads. Some big days ahead next month with those semi-finals. Now, before our reflections on the football qualifiers, let's check out the action from the GAA Championship. As old Leinster rivals Wexford and Kilkenny went head-to-head, Pat McAuliffe reports.
Despite both counties having qualified for the Gala All-Ireland Senior Championship semi-finals, there was still plenty to play for, as Kilkenny, with 5 victories, hope to maintain their 100% record as they visited wet and windy Wexford Park. The home side had won 3 matches, but were so unlucky to lose to late goals against Galway and Cork. So Wexford started in determined fashion to put one over their great local rivals, and they struck a lead goal inside 90 seconds. Tipperary referee Eamon Brown and his umpires getting the call right that Wexford forward Evelyn Quigley's shot had crossed the line before being scooped away by Kilkenny goalkeeper Katrina Ryan. Ursula Jacob, who finished with an impressive 9 points, added 3 scores in a row, before the visitors Michelle Quilty landed their first score after 14 minutes. But Wexford were well on top, and they pleased the vocal home following with a second Evelyn Quigley goal, brilliantly set up by Marie Dorgan on 25 minutes, which helped JJ Doyle's side into a healthy half-time lead of 2-7 to 2 points. Kilkenny free-taker Michelle Quilty scored 6 points from placed balls over the hour and reduced the arrears in the second half. A good score from play was added by Kelly Hamilton. And a great save from Wexford goalkeeper Mags Darcy denied the visitors a goal. With both sets of selectors using their substitutes ahead of the semi-finals in 3 weeks' time, Una Jacob capped a fine personal performance with Wexford's last score, before Katie Power's late effort left 2 goals between the South-East rivals at the end. As it finished, Wexford 2 goals and 10 points, Kilkenny 10 points.
Yeah, semi-finals, all the teams that are in it now, they're all capable of winning in All-Ireland, and regardless of who we draw on Monday in the semi-finals, it's going to be a tough game, and we have to regroup after this loss today and, look forward to 3 weeks' time.
Kilkenny are great rivals of Wexford, whether it's Camogie or Hurling, and we always come into the match, very respectful of their ability, and they're in All-Ireland last year, All-Ireland finalists, so we knew what we had to do today. It wasn't great conditions, but I think it was a tough match, so glad to come out on top.
Yeah, good result. Now, time for the football action. I'm delighted to welcome Kevin McStay and Joe Brolly. Thanks for joining us, lads. And first up, we have Louth returning to Croke Park after the heartbreak of 2 weeks ago. They were taking up the Dubs. Let's join Ger Canning.
Well, Peter Fitzpatrick back at the scene of what happened 2 weeks ago. Has to be a very emotional occasion. They've got to block out what happened against Meath and settle down to play in this 4th round All-Ireland qualifier. And Dublin have made the better start, winning primary ball in the middle of the field. Alan Brogan tried to go by him and McCauley. Just holding, waiting. Good looking shot, what a good point! And Alan Brogan leads the way with Dublin's first point from play and their second in this match. This was a lovely individual score. Again, it's Dublin who win the balls in midfield, and that provides the platform for the attacking wing halves like Kevin Nolan here. Recycling it in as far as O'Gara, now trying to free himself, looking for a gap, getting a gap. Oh, O'Gara! Oh, it's in the back of the net. Dublin's first goal of the match, scored by Owen O'Gara in the